We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, 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 hello. It is Wednesday, so you know what that means. That means we are here again for another live conversation with the authors of Revealing and Healing, Three Women's Stories of Survival. Once again, I am Delina Hill Brooker. You're going to know all of our names by the end of this. You're going to know us, our personalities and everything. I'm Delina Hill Brooker. We have Anjanita Williams. Say hey, Angel.
Hello, hello, hello.
We have Miss Rasha Hoosier. Say hello, Rasha.
Hey y'all.
So we've been coming here to you live every Wednesday at the same time, right here on this page. You can go ahead and invite all of your friends and family. Just share the live link on your page so everyone can get in on the conversation. We have been having really great conversations about a lot of things that are discussed in the book, and we have been introducing segments of our visual series, our Revealing and Healing visual series. I was getting tongue-tied. That's not where my head was going. So if you haven't seen them already, I will be reposting them on the page, but you can also look them up on YouTube and everything and share. So we are so happy, again, to have you here with us. And so we're here for another conversation. But before we get into this week's topics, we will recap from last week. So last week we talked about secrets and holding things in. I talked about a little bit about how I started holding in secrets because of my abuse and trauma and things, and then that just taught me how to hold feelings and emotions and all of my everything in instead of letting things out, and the impacts of that. So, Rasha, what did you think about last week? You have any Oh, and we also introduced Dreams video last week. So, what are your takeaways from last week, Rasha?
I think that, first of all, this is something that people deal with, lots of people. There are lots and lots of people in families that keep secret regarding molestation. The uncle did this, the dad did this, the cousin did this, and it's a secret. Nobody's supposed to know. And it causes pain, and it causes more drama and more, not just drama, but pain and a series and a cycle of keeping secrets. So people keep secrets about everything, and they're not telling. Now grandmama has diabetes. Don't tell nobody. This person that got pregnant, don't tell the family. And it ends up being a whole big issue. And I come from a family that keeps secrets. So, I mean, good secrets and bad, so it just starts a cycle. And I think that before it even starts, you, like Delina said, it stops here. You talk to your kids, we ain't keeping no secrets. Nope. If somebody tells you don't tell your mom and daddy, that's what you need to tell your mom and daddy. So you should, if you're in a family that keeps secrets, the buck stops right here with you.
Absolutely. I agree. Angel, what did you think about last week?
I thought it was a great, kind of like a great combination of what not to do with to your family and with your kids. Like Rasha said, like keeping secrets is definitely is in that realm of allowing people to consistently be abused and used, because that happens a lot, especially in domestic violence situations. It's whatever goes on in this house stays in this house, and to some degree I understand that, because everybody can't know all your business. However, if you're being abused, if someone's doing something to harm you, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, then you need to tell someone. That is not a secret to keep. Like, if you're going to plan a surprise party for your boo, fantastic. Fantastic. That's
good job, Delina.
I know, right? But if your boo is behind closed doors, like almost choking the life out of you, that's something that needs to be reported, and that's something that you need to let go of. So secrets are horrible. They keep children in a place they put kids in adult business when it shouldn't be. I really feel that strongly.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree with you more on that. It's just you have to, like, when I don't know if I said last week, when I threw my husband his surprise birthday party, I didn't tell my children until that day, because they're not allowed to keep secrets between either one of us. So, and that was a secret that if I would have told them, they would have had to tell, because the rule is you don't keep a secret from mommy, you don't keep a secret from daddy. So they would have had to tell somebody, and then the surprise would have been ruined, all my hard work. So we just kept that closed until that day. And I was like, after he was already gone, they weren't going to see him until the party. And I was like, okay, this is what's going on. So then they were excited and everything, and were still able to participate in the surprise and keeping the secret for what they think they were keeping it for.
What they think,
But I just really believe that we have got to do better. We have got to stop hiding behind, like, like Ayana Van Zandt says, call a thing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking and pretending like you see this when it's really something else.
Right.
And then, because that's also keeping a secret. You're keeping a secret from yourself because you don't want to face the truth. So you really we have to do better as that. And that's another learned behavior. Go ahead.
2 things. Number 1, and your babies don't know what's a good secret or a bad secret. So they just know all secrets. Like you said, all secrets. Daddy's party, that's exciting, that's great, but that's a secret. They don't know the difference between that secret. A secret's a secret. Well, your kids probably do know, actually. Your Jimmy Neutron smart kids probably do know.
Yeah, them little things right there.
I'm sorry. The Brookers in Brookerville probably know. And then the other thing you said, dang, I'm old. What's the second part of what you just said? You just said something. Oh, Ayanla, like you said,
call it a thing.
And whether it's, I was going to go down the list, molestation, secret, abuse, secret, somebody being pregnant that's young that could need help, secret. All these secrets we talked about. And Angel was keeping secrets between her parents. Like, look at that stress that's involved with that. So, yeah.
Well, even keeping a secret as, oh, I think my husband might be cheating, but I'm just not going to say nothing. Or, oh, I think something's funny going on with my kids. Because that leads to other things. So, like, say with all these shootings in the schools.
Right.
Your kids are being enclosed in their room, staying to themselves and everything, and you're pretending that you don't see that. Something is wrong. Not saying they don't need their private time, but you need to engage and don't be like, oh, well, that's just them. That's not normal.
Mortgage the light bill and you won't open up their door.
Exactly.
I'm not even knocking.
Right, I'm just going to open the door. We're going to take those hinges off.
The doors off the hinges?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't get no privacy. So
I want to touch on what you said though about what Iyanla said, that a thing is a thing. I think the hardest person to be honest with is yourself.
Absolutely.
The hardest person to be honest with, like when you have to actually look at yourself and see yourself for who you really are, like inside, that's hard. Yes. And it's hard to really admit that.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to a point that when you do that, you open up another level of strength. Because at that point, you're able to look at yourself and say, you know what? I have to admit, I'm not all good.
Right.
I'm not. I've done this. I can admit to this. And that allows you to move forward.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm looking to see, before we move on, I'm looking to see who's already here live. Somebody look and see, because it's not showing me because it's on my page, and I don't want to.
I just looked about a minute ago.
I see you, Chandra. We have something special for you at the end. I didn't even tell you about it.
Okay, hold on.
I see Maya,
Chandra. They're not commenting yet, quite yet.
Tiana, hey, boo boo. What's up, Mel?
I only see. I see a couple people on there.
Okay. All right, well, we'll just keep moving right along. So this week, we are going to do a little bit of reading of a part of the book. So this is part of the first chapter of the book entitled, what's the title? Miss Victim. So this is from Rain's perspective. And afterwards, we'll have a little bit of discussion about the little part that we read. So we're not going to read the whole chapter, a whole too much, because we want you guys to go, of course, support the book, buy the book if you already have one, tell a friend about how great it is, share this video so that they can kind of see some of the stuff that they're dealing with, that it deals with.
You can pick the book up at lionessvizions.net and on Amazon.
Yes, lionessvizions.net and Amazon. So, Rasha.
Okay.
It's on you.
So this part is the beginning of my story, and I was only 9 at this time, 9 or 10. Just like every Friday for the past month, it was raining again. And just like every Friday, I was dancing and singing after leaving the babysitter's house. Mom paid as she did every Friday. I wonder if I'm going to Dad's this weekend. As I walked out to the car, I wondered if my mom noticed I had a boyfriend. Although I was only 9 years old, I was in love. He didn't tell anyone I was his girlfriend. He didn't hold hands with me or even take me places. But he kissed me deeply. He put his fingers inside me and let me hide his penis. These are the first memories of my childhood that I can recall. Me and D, that was what I called him. D was a little overweight, but I think I liked that. He was handsome, always had a nice haircut, and smelled nice all the time. He bounced me on his knee and made me laugh. He was my babysitter's son, and he had been molesting me for a year. Each time he had sex with me, I focused on Victor Newman's face. I listened to The Young and the Restless theme music, and I waited. At 12:30 p.m. every day, my babysitter and all of the young ones napped. As soon as Victor Newman went off, it would all be over. The first time, there was blood. But after a while, it didn't hurt at all. Like he said, this is what boyfriends and girlfriends do. I just wondered why he wouldn't tell everyone, so they would know that we went together. He paid me no attention unless we were alone. It hurt me because I was proud of our soap opera love affair. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why he wouldn't tell anyone we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So a little bit about my parents. They were married. They divorced when I was 2. So I would go over to my dad's on the weekend, every weekend, Friday through Sunday, and I was with my mom during the week. So it was just me and my mom, single mom, and me. And so my mom was working, and so I had to have a babysitter. My dad lived too far away to be able to watch me during the week, and they worked. My stepmom and my dad worked. So what would happen is in the morning, I would go over to the babysitters and go to school from there. Then in the afternoon, I would come back. Now, the times that I was there during like 12:30 and when the soap operas came on was during the summer. I was there through the whole summer, and I didn't go to school, so I was there all day, every day. So while my mom is working and she's thinking I'm okay because the babysitter was a loving woman, a kind woman, sweet woman, loved me. I loved her. And I was fine. And I thought, again, this is a boyfriend. So I didn't think anything of it. Didn't tell my mother at that time or anything. So that's kind of how things happened with my mom just trying to work and trying to do what a mom would do. Any of us that have had our kid in daycare, in aftercare, before care, thinking our kids are fine. And that definitely caused me to have issues when my kids were the age to go to daycare and be cared for. So it was an ongoing issue, and it kind of still is at times.
Yeah.
Angel, I'm sorry. Angel, what do you think? What do you think about Rain's story? What do you think about the whole situation with kids being touched and molested and kind of getting them to understand you need to tell somebody?
Well, first of all, when I first read that and knowing that I knew you, that it floored me, like literally floored me, because I had no idea about, the things that you went through as a kid. And it actually pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. It pissed me off. I'm like, what grown man is sitting out here doing this to his kids? But what I've realized is that for whatever reason, and I'm going to use probably a really bad example, but it's the only one I can think of that everybody knows. I'm going to use R. Kelly as an example. Everybody knows that he was going to this high school getting these high school girls.
Yes.
Everybody knows that. But the community turned our backs on that because of who he was. Mm-hmm. And that is prominent, that has been prominent in our community, where these old men are going after these young girls and doing things to these young ladies. Mm-hmm. So it really made me mad. It really did, and it made my heart break, because for you to be at that age, you're at the age of innocence.
Yeah.
And I can understand now that seeing it like it is now, I now understood the dynamic that you had with Brittany and Anna. I get it, because at first I was like, is she just tripping? But now I understand that because of what happened with you. You didn't want that to happen to your daughters, and you want your daughters to go through that. Right. So I get that. Again, like, if I could find old dude, like, you probably have some issues.
I know. See, even with what the stuff we've been through, Angel's still like, you know what? That's my friend, and you did this to my friend. And to respond to what you said, it's funny how you mentioned Go ahead. You got something on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, because if you hear it now, R. Kelly is still doing the same stuff he's doing, only now he's doing it with grown women. He's got to the point where they're at the legal age now, so that nobody can say anything to him about what he's doing, and he's not necessarily breaking any laws. So he's been able to fly under the radar. Like, everyone knows this is what you're doing, but nobody can touch you. And that's the part that makes me mad. And as much as I used to love me some R. Kelly.
Yeah. And that's funny you mentioned that. I think that's a good example because everyone knows about it. I will tell you guys, someone put something on a post. Of course, we're on social media now, so we're all on social media. And someone said something about R. Kelly, and someone said, "Please, I don't care what he does. I'm gonna buy his music. He's jamming. R. Kelly's jamming. Please, y'all know Chris Brown beat Rihanna. Y'all know this person did this. All these people aren't." And I said, it took me a while because, come on, 12 play. I can go on and on. All the songs, the whole extended, you know.
We'll talk about that another time.
Right.
Another time.
Trade in My Life, which is one of my most favorite R. Kelly songs ever.
Mm-hmm.
How can a song that spiritual come from him?
Yeah.
And all the devilish stuff that he was doing.
That he's done. Yeah. And again, and I think that's a good example to parallel it back to gosh, I almost said his name. D, same thing, protected by everybody. I didn't say anything. Scared to go. My mother kept saying, you have this many years, you have 30 years before the statute of limitation is over for molestation because they won't be able to, have evidence of it happening. So I got nervous because I watched Law and Order at that time when I told her. It was way after I was 9. I said, oh, I don't want to go on the stand. I'm scared. All those girls have to go on the stand, and then they have to do this and that, and I don't want to do that to him. So he was protected. And then when I finally did say something, people around him didn't believe me. So he's still being protected right now. You know what? To be very, very transparent, I look at the Indiana Department of Corrections website all the time to see if someone has found him, if he's ever been in jail, if he's ever, no. He's still doing whatever he's doing. And he's been around plenty of women, and I've talked to some of those women. I'm the only person who came out and said something. The only person.
And that's why, to me, I stress that it is so important to talk to our kids as soon as they can start talking about, even if you want them to be children. You don't want to taint their whole view of the world, but you have to protect them. You have to give them what they need to be able to protect themselves, which is their voice.
Yeah.
And just the simple fact of knowing good touch and bad touch.
Yes.
No one's allowed to touch these areas, however you want to word it, because each child is different. And certain children are probably more susceptible than other children. And like, I try to shield my kids from a lot of stuff. Like, I haven't turned on the news and on the radio. Like, I'll turn it when they start talking about the school shooting and stuff, because I can't have them scared to go to school, because you're not supposed to live in fear.
Yeah.
But you also have to know if something, and I tell my kids this with anything, if anything ever makes you uncomfortable, if I do something that makes you uncomfortable, tell me.
Yeah.
Because I could be doing something to them unintentional. Like, there's certain ways, like, if certain people hug me, like if men who were family members or whatever, they would hug me, not meaning anything by it, but because of my past. I don't receive that in love. Don't hug me like that. You're too close. You're holding me too tight. You're holding me a bit too long.
Yeah.
You know.
And Delina will say something.
Well, see, no, not always. Now I will.
Not when you were younger, no.
When I was younger, I wouldn't. I would just I was keeping it in. I would hold it in.
Yeah.
Hold it in and bear it. Just be like, be ready to fight if needed. So we really have to teach our children, and I don't know of a right age. I just say when they're able to talk.
I think
because it could, like just in my case, it could be somebody that's in your house. You don't even have to leave outside of your house like Rasha did have to go to the babysitter. It could be right there in your house, which still leads to me talking about don't be blinded to the front.
What's going on?
Everybody in front of you. Everybody wants you to see what they want you to see, and a predator.
Please,
they are really professional put-oners.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, oh, this is the image they put to the world. Just like Jared, the Subway guy. Ooh, whatever.
Oh my God.
The Subway guy. I went to high school with him. Don't even remember him from high school. And then when people told me, it was before all the stuff came out.
Right.
And I'm like, well, wow, I never remember Jared from high school, whatever. And then when everything came out, I was like, I'm so glad I don't remember Jared from high school.
And then talk about how your dad was looked at. Your dad was just a normal person and seen as a normal guy. People liked him. He didn't seem like a molester. Because remember, people say, "Oh,
my dad is the most. He is the most. He is the best gentleman you'll ever meet. He will open your door. He will hold your hand. He will take his coat off. He will lay his coat on the ground so you can walk over a puddle. He is the biggest gentleman you ever would meet. He was a deacon in the church, on the usher board, Christian, never raised his voice outside of the house.
Right.
But he was a monster. He was I mean, it just, call the thing a thing. He was a monster.
Think about the power in your statement. Think about that, y'all. Think about when the people around you and you think they seem nice. Yeah, they always watch the kids. Oh, they by themselves. They love all the girls. They love. Just think, not that everybody is a molester. Right. Everyone is not D. Everyone is not your dad. Everyone is not Jared, or R. Kelly. But the molester doesn't have a look. He doesn't look like a creep all the time. Yeah.
Now some of them do, but if you're paying attention, or maybe it's just me because I have a really great sense of discernment, which I have learned to use. I didn't always use that because if I would have been using that gift, it would have kept me out of a lot of sticky situations. But I do have that gift, and now I use it. And I can be walking in Walmart and I'll be like,
get away from that.
Oh, cool. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? There's certain people I don't even speak to.
I think one important part of that though is that we have to also be aware that all molesters are not adults.
Yes.
Some of them are children.
Yes.
Who probably have been molested by an adult, and they think that this behavior is normal.
Right.
You know, and nobody thinks about that part of it. If a young lady has been molested a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, she's acting inappropriately with the other children her age.
Yes.
The same thing with a young boy. Or if they see something, or they're acting as if they're an adult. Like I remember a while ago, where they had like these first graders that were caught behind stairs, you know, performing sex acts in a school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it automatically, you know that number one, they've seen something they had no business seeing. Somebody's done something, either done something to them or done something in front of them, to have that already in their brain. I mean, when you think of first graders, you think of 6 or 7. Like, y'all still playing with dolls.
Right.
Now, I'm not talking about the whole playing doctor stuff, because you're trying to figure out, well, why your stuff is different. Like, that's normal childhood behavior. Because they when they first realize that they're different sexes, it's like, oh, well, let me see how your stuff works.
Right.
You know, but that's normal. But when it gets to a point where it's starting to be more than that.
Childhood curiosity.
Yes. When they start doing things that they shouldn't know.
Right.
Then that's a problem. Like I remember also another story, why it's really important when your kids start talking to teach them their parts with the correct terms. So like, you know, because your kids could be telling you that somebody's doing something to them, but you are brushing it off because it sounds like everyday talk. For example,
they're playing with my pocketbook or my Barbie doll.
Right. Or you ate my cookie.
Yeah.
Like I actually saw a documentary about this, where a little girl kept telling her mom that the mom's boyfriend was eating her cookie, and she was like, and she just told her the boyfriend, like, will you please stop eating her cookies? You know what I'm saying? So it didn't register because she had taught her daughter that was a cookie, but cookie is also a food. And when you think about somebody eating a cookie, you're thinking about eating an Oreo. You're not thinking about this man that's actually over here sodomizing your daughter. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that we have to be cognizant of. You know, and along with good touch, bad touch.
Right.
And even though these are areas, make sure that we talk to our kids about the proper names for the particular parts of their body. So therefore, if your cat says, "Oh, he touched my vajayjay or my vagina,"
right?
She touched my penis. You know, now you can.
No doubt about it.
You can go to the police or you can handle it yourself. I'm going to say go to the police because you might end up in jail. But both of them.
For worthy cause. I'll go for a worthy cause.
Yeah.
But I think that's also important why we should have open conversations with our children regularly. Like probe them. How was your day? Well, what happened? Well, why were you upset? And something. Well, what were they doing? You know, like my youngest, Sade, she will just tell you from the root to the tutor. The boys, I have to pull stuff out of them. Like, all right, okay, well, what was their name and what were they, you know, but just probe a little bit and see when something is not quite right and fishy. Pay attention to their mannerisms when they get off the bus. I know when she's had a bad day when she gets off the bus because you can see it in her face. And so I'm like, well, what happened? And usually it's because she got called out for talking in class, had to move a clip or something. That's my baby. That's what I expect. But I want her to tell me. Don't
Right.
just assume that she got caught talking. What
Right.
happened when you got caught talking? What was the response? What was the recourse of that? So we really have to have open dialogue. Don't be afraid to have those open dialogues, because if you catch it before it becomes an issue, because predators will groom you, especially if it's someone who's closely knitted to that family. Now, an outside predator, they may just come and just do something crazy, but for the most part, if it's an interaction like a family member or a babysitter or something like that, they will groom you to gain your trust.
Absolutely.
To be able, it's not an all of a sudden, oh, guess what? This what happened. Let's keep it a secret.
That's right.
You want some candy? Oh, let's go out. We're going to have fun and make it a fun environment. And so then the kid will gravitate towards them and hold that secret because, we're buddies, we're best friends, and this is what we do. So you have to really pay attention to the signs, pay attention to their emotions, their mannerisms, different things like if they are moody and their emotions go up and down for no reason at all. Pay attention, ask the questions, probe, and don't just take face value for face value. You have to evaluate that. So,
you made a good point. This is good. If you know your child on the small things, like, she had a bad day today. Oh, she's happy today. A lot of good things happen. Then you'll know when something is off because you know how your child is on a bad day, on a good day. Now, this thing's different. What's going on today? And you're right, Delina. A lot of parents don't do that. I'm sorry. They just don't. Or they stop at 12. The child is 13. I'm done. She can do whatever. She's in her room with the door closed.
I had a teacher saying inappropriate things to me in high school.
Wow.
So there's really, and I was, because of my history, it had happened so many times. I never reported it. I never fought back to him. I never told my mother. I told 2 friends. They were ready to go take the teacher out and back and handle some business, because one of them at the time was my boyfriend at the time. But I was so tired of fighting, and I wish I would have, because I've seen recently people post comments about that particular teacher about, oh yeah, I would like to see that teacher or something. And I'm like,
wow,
you have no idea. And nothing physically happened. But he was trying to, let me see where I'll bet I could get that one right there. So even in high school, and because I was so tired of fighting. Now, my mother always told me that she would always believe whatever I told her. She'd be like, you can tell me that the sky is green and purple, and I'm going to believe you. So it wasn't a fact of me thinking somebody wouldn't believe me. I was tired of fighting. I was already in the middle of a court case, had just got out of another court case. I was tired because it kept happening. And I'm like, why does this keep happening to me? Is this my purpose? So just the fact that I didn't say anything, and now people are still, because he was a really fun teacher.
Wow.
Those are the ones.
You gotta get the book. You gotta get the book, because Delina, the word she uses is, I remember, because I've read the book so many times. She felt marked. Someone keeps being inappropriate with me. Somebody keeps doing this to me. Not just her dad, y'all. Again, read the book. You feel like you said, I'm done fighting. Do I got to go to court for this teacher too?
Right.
Do I have to go through this situation?
And I had been fighting. I had started being molested when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And then, so it was just this cycle, continual, my whole life. I've been fighting. I'm tired. I ain't even out of school yet. I'm too tired to fight. I'm just too, I didn't have it in me. I just didn't have it in me. So I never reported it, but we got to do better. I want to address some of the people who are live. I see them making comments.
I was going to say, y'all got all kind of comments. And Janita had a sweet one.
Let's see. Let me refresh my page here.
Thank you, Nish.
Hi, Miss Vicky. I remember Miss Vicky.
So Nish Nicole said a predator can pick the perfect victim out of a crowd. I totally agree with that.
Yes.
I absolutely agree, because they are predators, so they know which one is weak. And for me, I felt like I had been marked because it kept happening. So people would have been like, oh, yeah, you can tell she's already been tainted. Let's get that one. That's the easy one. We don't have to work too hard. I totally agree.
That's what I felt,
isn't Anjanita beautiful?
She's she is.
Pastor Pam says, your daddy, but that stuff he did, my heart aches. Get their book laced. Thank you, Pastor Pam. She's awesome, guys. She's awesome. You should
We
follow
got a
her.
nice little group watching now.
Yes,
20.
yes.
20.
But we talk. I mean, this is something that I think needs to be talked about. It definitely needs to be discussed because it happens more than we think.
Mm-hmm.
And me working in social services and seeing some of this stuff, you know, I mean, it really does. You have to be very strong, mentally, to have to watch to see kids go through this type of thing, and to be somebody that they can actually feel comfortable with and actually trust. Because when you kind of go through that, it's hard for you to trust anybody.
Yes.
You don't really trust anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So
and
true.
and so you have to be there for the children. So I'm just asking anybody today, if you see a child and this child is withdrawn, this was once a student.
Yes.
And now they're DNF. You know, the child was once active and happy, and now they're not. The one thing that usually saves children like that is for a caring adult to just ask, "Are you okay?" Just,
you said
"Are
something.
you okay?"
You said something, Angel. That's it. Say
Are
it
you
again.
okay? And they don't, and it doesn't, and they just looking for somebody to actually care.
Yes.
That's what they're looking for. Because one thing that I also have been researching is children and trauma, and how kids react to trauma, and how sometimes you have those children in your classrooms who are behaving horribly. They're being insubordinate. They're cussing you out. They're not doing their work. They're talking back to you. They're challenging you up in your face. And the only thing you're doing is you're sitting that kid out of class.
Right.
Oh,
Every
that's
day.
a bad apple.
I
sitting them out of class. You yelling at them because they don't have a pencil. You yelling at them because they ain't came prepared. But do you not know that child probably, number one, ain't had breakfast, probably ain't got no lights, make sure little brother and sister get to where they need to get to. They need to get to school themselves on time, and by the time they get there, they done been through more stuff in the morning than you've been through in a week.
And they may be doing that to get attention for an outlet, so somebody, that's a way to cry out to say, help me, because you don't have the words to say, I need some help.
Yep.
Right. And then they're thinking, another thing is, like Delina, who's going to believe me?
Right. Yeah. This is ridiculous. Who's going to believe me? But nobody believed this just happened again.
Right.
No.
Nope. When I read it, I couldn't believe it. When I talked to Delina, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this could not happen. Not the babysitter's son, yes, but her dad, no. And you guys, we have all been victims of some type of abuse, but I don't want to use victim. I use survivor now because listen, in that chapter, I was Miss Victim. Get the book and you'll see what happens after that. But I was definitely Miss Victim. And I will tell you, seeing Delina's story, I cannot say this enough. Hearing Delina's story as a 30-something-year-old woman made me see, that I could get through it, and I was still not through it. And I was like, man. So again, it's just, and again, we'll get inboxes from this. People are gonna text us. We're gonna get inboxes. I'm
already getting text
every time
messages.
I talk about molestation, y'all, every time, and it scares me. Dang, why is it me and Delina too? Why is it two more of my other friends? Why is it? And then when you look at the numbers, it says 1 out of every 4 women were molested, raped, or sexually assaulted. And I'm like, why is it I remember somebody saying to me, all your friends are broken. All your friends are broken, man.
But aren't we all broken in some kind of way, even if it has nothing to do with molestation? Everybody's gone through something.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You were about to say something, Angel.
Well, of course, when you see the thinking, this is the thinking cap.
I love it. And I love y'all. When Angel goes, when Angel's going to say something, she's like, so.
Yes.
Then she said, she got to think during that so.
Yes. I'm going to trademark that. So. But I was going to say what you were saying. I was just basically going to piggyback off what you said about how everybody has gone through something. And I always say be careful how you approach people because you never know the person's story and you never know what that person went through. So before y'all out here road raging people and jumping out of cars, you might want to stop and think that you don't know what kind of day this person having. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if they got a gun, knife. or what? Don't just think you
Right.
can hop out or talk crazy to people. I always try to be nice to people, especially people who are at restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I try to be nice to my waitresses. I try to be nice to customer service when I'm on the phone because I've worked in, 2 or 3 of those jobs, and I
Right.
understand just how much it goes. And I remember distinctly, I would never forget this for as long as I live. When I was going through a situation that we'll be talking about next week. So tune in live 8 o'clock, same time, same
Yes.
channel. But I was having a really horrible day, and I was trying to be as upbeat as possible. And I had this one lady, I will never forget it. She was an older white lady, and I was trying to smile through it and everything else. And she put her hand on mine, and she said, "If today is the worst day of your life, thank God, because it's almost over."
Wow.
And
She could
keep
feel
in
it.
mind, I hadn't said anything. I was trying to be upbeat.
Right.
Like, and I'm dealing with a lot at this point.
Yes.
I'm dealing with a
Yes.
lot. And for her to say that to me,
Mm-hmm.
like, I just was like, she said, you're going to be all right.
That's good. That's all somebody would need to make their day better.
Yeah.
That
And
look
It
how
gives
that
you a
makes
release,
you.
like, oh, you see it, I'm not crazy. Oh, God.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for validating me that I'm not out here just losing my mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have
So
9
just something
shares,
as simple as
ladies.
that.
Hey.
You say, I mean, honey, when I see people, I'm like, hey, girl, you look good.
Yeah.
You look, yes, girl, slay, girl,
Mm-hmm.
slay. And you never know if she had a hard morning that morning, if just for you to say she looks
Somebody
nice.
could have told her she was ugly, or that's something she could have been hearing forever.
So true.
And you just changed that cycle and be like, oh, well, y'all crazy. Because this one stranger validated me while all of my people were putting me down.
So
Right.
you can see somebody looking like, you can see someone who's down. You can see somebody who's going through things. Look at all these comments, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I want to address some of them. So
We
Vicky
have lots
says,
of them.
silence allows them to hurt others. And she said something so profound. A systematic molester will not cause you pain, and the touch could feel good. Be specific when explaining to children.
Yes.
Right.
Let's see. So Chandra says, when we talk to children about touch, we can't really stress good touch and bad touch because sometimes the touch may not feel bad to them and it can cause confusion. I usually tell parents appropriate and inappropriate, and that is true because even in my case, it didn't hurt. And so when I got removed, I don't even want to talk about it because we'll talk about it later, but I physically did not feel pain. So that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Roger.
Oh,
Most
this
irrational
right here,
children are dealing with PTSD. Agreed. Hey, Denise.
yes,
Hey,
that is
Justin.
true.
Yes. So true.
Hey, Denisha. Hey, Courtney. Courtney says also the opposite. When children are extra quiet or reserved, some teachers think that's a good child or that child is usually struggling with something too. Totally agree, Courtney.
Good point.
That is
Good
right,
point.
right,
Very
Courtney.
good. So Lily
Didn't think about
says,
that.
this discussion brings back bad memories for me. I just told my mother about what happened to me, and I'm 37 years old. I said I would never would, but it just came out recently. Things that she didn't want to talk thoroughly about it, but I don't. She wants to talk thoroughly about it, but I don't.
But you don't.
I want to erase it from my mind. Talk about it.
Talk
The
about
fact that you told her is
Talk
great.
about
That's a good start.
Because you're going to gain your power back. And I'm
Yes.
talking from experience because, I talk a lot, right? So the more I talk about it, the stronger I
You
get.
don't talk more
Roger
than me,
keeps talking
y'all.
about how healed I've always been over her. I wasn't, girl. I'm still broken, but I just keep talking about it, and I keep gaining a little bit of power, a little bit more power, a little bit more power, and you will gain all of your power back because by holding it in, you're letting them keep that power. You're holding in that pain. Talk about it. If you can't talk about it just yet, write it down. Get a notebook. Write down everything you remember. What made you uncomfortable? What things that trigger it for you? Hey, Vivi. Hey, Amanda. What things trigger it for you? Talk about it. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to. Even if you have to go to a therapist and talk about it, let it out.
Yes.
Let it out. There's more room out than in because it's going to bubble up.
It's going to. It's going to come out somehow. It will come out. And another thing on the spiritual level, if you hold that person in and you hold them in and you're angry and mad and you're not, God can't put his hand on them because God's going to deal with it. Please believe, y'all. God is going to deal. Some of them going to go to prison. Some of them going to die, whatever. But God will deal with them on the spiritual level. Whereas they can't move on with life. Y'all know people are tormented when they've done the things they've done. They're tormented. I don't care who they are. I saw the guy that molested me years later at a wedding, maybe 12 years ago or 13, at a wedding, his sister's wedding. And when I saw him, I said I was going to do all this stuff. I'm going to go over there and knock him out. I was terrified. I couldn't do none of that. But he looked at me and said, I'm sorry, you don't have to be scared no more. Something to that. And
because you're grown now.
He looked sad and depressed. His wife looked sad and depressed. His kids look sad and depressed.
I also want to add to that is that if you don't deal with it, your decisions will reflect that you didn't deal with it. Because the stuff that's inside of you is what's guiding your decisions, and you could be avoiding something to avoid to feel that particular hurt or that particular pain when that might not be the ideal thing for you to do, because at this point it's avoidance, and avoidance never works. So you have to deal with all of that before you can fully move forward and actually see the light of life, because that's casting a shadow over you. Really big. One of the things that we do is the Right to Heal curriculum that I've developed. That's still in development, but it's still coming along, because that gives you a space for you to say whatever it is you need to say. The paper does not judge you. It does not judge you. Your journal does. It's all of yours. Start with a notebook, a regular 50-cent notebook, and just pour your heart onto those pages. And you will start to feel different. There will be a spiritual shift inside of you, because all of that negative stuff is leaving you little bit by little bit. The healing journey is definitely a journey. It's a process. So if you're holding stuff in, let it go. Let that go, because if you do not, you're going to continue in this same old type of cycle.
You said it best.
I wanted to touch base on is, as far as holding it in and not wanting to face it, look at it this way. Maybe this will help. You've already survived it, because you're still here.
That's it.
So that worst part, you've already lived through it.
It's over.
It's over. You ain't even got to go there no more.
Nope.
So now just take your voice back and be like, you know what happened to me? This is some BS. This is what happened. And just however you feel about it. Because however you feel, it's okay to feel that way. Exactly. Whether you're hurt, confused, angry, upset, however you feel about the situation,
you have however you feel
about that person, it is okay to feel however you feel, because once again, he gave us all of our feelings. We're supposed to use them, because there's a reason and a purpose for all of them. Use that, because you're supposed to feel angry, hurt, upset, confused. That's what you're supposed to feel, because that ain't right.
Right.
Y'all see why I hang around these two? Y'all see why I hang around these two? If Angel is brilliant and Delina is so impactful, and she says something in a way you can understand it, like a pastor. If you the smartest person in the room, you with the wrong group. I'm the dumbest out of us. I'm telling y'all. Did you hear the way Delina just said that?
Don't listen to her. We all have our gifts.
No. That statement. Let me tell y'all both what y'all said. Let me say it again. Delina just said, you've already survived it. So anything after that is a blessing. Anything out of that is the storm is over for you. The song goes, the storm is over for you. You already survived the storm. That's a word from God right there. That is a sermon. You've already survived it. You are a survivor. Anything you do going forward. Another thing, like Angel said, the page doesn't judge you. When Angel just said it's a shift, that's the healing process. The shift is the healing process. So you go from writing it down, I'm angry, I'm mad, I don't know, I'm having all these problems, and the shift is happening, and then you're healed. Delina has how many notebooks?
I have about 2 or 3 crates of notebooks. Yeah. When I tell you everything ain't in the book, right? I could write about 5 more books about all this stuff. We just couldn't fit everything in the book and make it a cohesive project. Sure. When I tell you, as far as all of us, and I'm not even just me, because I don't compare traumas. There's no nothing is bigger than the other.
We've been through it.
When I tell you we have lived through some stuff.
Even though Delina's only 25.
And I'm only 25. You know what I mean? Like, well, actually, I'll be 24 in a couple of weeks, and then I'll turn back to 25. But there's no physical reason, rational reason why we are okay, why we're able to talk about this, why we're able to write about it, empower other people. There is it's only God that we can sit here and be like, you know what? Because I really, really, really believe, and we all really, really believe that there is power in your testimony.
Yeah.
There's so much power in your testimony. So even like with us talking together as we were writing the book, we were able to help each other heal to another level.
Yes.
Because some of the stuff Rasha went through, I was like, girl, take me to the king, lay me out on the altar. I can't deal. But he didn't put some of the stuff he went on. So I can't. That's not my testimony. But with our testimonies, we empower ourselves, we empower others.
Yes.
And because we know that it was only by the grace of God that we are healing, because we're still healing. Because I still got some issues, because I still be on ready set about my kids. I still be on ready set. Like, I will look at everybody sideways. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
We are still healing, but because we're giving God the glory for the healing that has already occurred, and the healing is going to do, and the healing that is being presented from the book and helping others. And like Pastor Pam said, that it's a hard read. Those first few chapters are a hard read because we get down to the nitty gritty of some really hard things that people don't like to talk about. They don't like to feel. And the way the book is written, it's written that way because if you've gone through a trauma, see, I've read other books of people who have gone through some of this stuff and they sugarcoat it or it's like lightly covered.
Yes.
But for me, I want somebody who's gone through the same trauma as me, when they read it, be like, she telling the truth.
Yes.
I feel that. If you haven't gone through it, when you read it, you'll be like, what?
Wow.
That's why she acts like that. That's why I have to treat women like this. This is why I have to just not, don't just go on all willy-nilly and think that everything is okay. And as a conversation, how you deal with people in general, because you never know what they went through.
Right.
Exactly.
It caused me to be a fight. When I'm telling you, and even with my quietness, I would fight for everybody else but myself.
Yeah. I was always like that too. They call it hypervigilant. You mess with my friend, I'll get you. Because you know, I can deal with it. Your thing is always, well, I already been through hell, so what they gonna do?
Exactly. Can't too much more happen.
Don't mess with this person. Right. Don't mess with my kids.
Yes.
Delina made an amazing point, and I see Angel has something to say. I see her face. Delina made an amazing point. Y'all listen. We could talk about this conversation all day. It just went out of my head. Go ahead, Angel. It went out of my head.
Well, I would say because I'm always that I was the one who never really talked a lot, unless I know you. If I know you, I'm going to run my mouth 24/7. Like I never shut up. But I was that type too. Like you ain't getting messed. No, because I'm still mother bear to my children or my kids, and they're grown. You know what I mean? And literally like grown. And I'm like, who did what to what?
That's
and I will still stand up, for them, and it's like, I get that. And now that I'm in this space, because I'm in the space now where I'm about to be an empty nester.
Yes. Party time, USA.
Oh, right. Sorry. That wasn't where you were going with it? Sorry.
No, I'm like, because it's still bittersweet. It's still bittersweet.
Delina can bring me her kids. She's talking about she can't wait. Delina can bring me her kids.
Yeah, but even yet and still, like you better not.
Yeah.
When
my kids are scared to tell me stuff.
My grandkids, my nieces, nobody. Because I'm coming.
Nobody.
Like, do not do that. And I'm still like that. I think I'll be like that to the day they put me in
Me too.
jail.
Ain't no healing from that for me. You can mess with me all you want. Do whatever you want to me. Don't mess with my family, my kids. Do not. And my kids don't tell me stuff for that very reason. 5 years, they'll say, let me tell you what happened 5 years ago. This teacher did this and this and this. Where's she at?
Well, see, I'm not even there at that mess with me no more. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with my people. Like,
don't mess with you either.
Like, I have zero tolerance. And, like, when I finally learned to get my voice and speak up for myself, I'll be like, I don't like that. I don't like it. Leave me alone. I don't like it. And I just don't.
You are like that. You are.
I don't really I don't go with the flow no more. I don't have no problem. I'm a Pisces. Whichever way I need to go. I can go upstream or downstream. What you want? What you want?
Angel is too, y'all. I got 2 Pisces and I'm an Aries. Our birthdays are all close though. You made another good point. Sugar code. Let me tell y'all, when we were writing the book, I would always say, can I say that? Delina, Angel, can I say that? Delina, she talks fast. Yeah, girl, yeah. Why wouldn't you? What do you mean? It happened. I'm talking about when we were graphic, honest, no sugar. And you're right. Every book, most books that I've read is sugarcoating. He did this and he did that, and then he pushed me, and then all that. No, let me tell you what happened. My head hit the wall. I slid down the wall. Let me tell you what happened to my daughter that had cancer. I'm telling y'all, Delina was like, we're not sugarcoating nothing. No, you can say it. We can say we didn't. We
can
didn't.
say whatever
This
we
is
need
the
to say.
truth. There's no need
The truth
to
don't need
sugarcoat
no
it.
sugar.
Yeah.
It don't need no sugar.
It ain't supposed to be sweet. And like I said, the whole book is not heavy, but that first part is so that you can get the meat and potatoes of
Right.
how we went from one end to the other. There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But you have to get through that hard part. We had to get through the hard part, and guess what? If you're reading it, it's hard. We lived it. And it was hard.
That's true.
So let me look at some more comments. Vicky said, they now have trans age. I heard about that foolery. Grown folks who identify as children, so their romantic feelings towards children is justified. They're using it as defense in court. Now that's some BS.
What?
I can deal with a whole lot of
children. You don't feel like you 50.
Off limits. Yeah.
I'm sorry. How you not gonna feel like you 50 when you got arthritis in your knee?
That is a pedophile mentality.
Oh my God.
That's a spirit. That is what it is. It's a pedophile spirit.
That's right. That's right.
Angelina
and Angel will be a gang. You bring your 40-year-old butt to me and talk about me and Angel and Delina will be a gang that y'all don't want to see. Delina and Angel will finish them. I'll start, but Angel and Delina will finish them, and Angel will run over them with her car.
I've run over a few people with her.
You're not funny. I know why you said that. You're not funny.
I will run you over.
Come to me and tell me that you 40, but you really 10, and you going to pick up Sade for a date. Tell me that.
It won't even have to get to me. You think my husband gonna let that go?
Girl, please. Ooh,
her brothers.
When that happens,
let's get with her brothers, okay? Like I ain't even got to fight no more. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? I ain't got to fight no more.
Won't he will.
So let's see.
My daughter's favorite thing is, I will call my mom, and trust me, you don't want me to call my mom.
Because then her mama gonna call me, and it ain't never nothing for me to ride down there.com.
Right.
I have driven before for a fight, cross country. And
Delina drives. She done drove alone. She drove alone, honey, from Indianapolis to Atlanta.
So let's see. Nish says, when you deal with your issues, it allows you to relate to someone else's. Facing your issues can help you deal with the issues of your next generation or a friend or any loved one. Mm-hmm. Vivi says, hey, Delina, tell it, ladies.
Hey.
Watch out, I'm not preaching.
Yes,
all right, Pastor Pam, I see you picked it back up again. Maurice is watching. Deanna is watching. My mama's watching. Hey, Mama. Love you, Mama.
Y'all don't want to beat me up no more, do y'all, Hill family?
Stop. You so extra.
We're having a good time today, though. This is a good conversation, and we can still be humorous and put humor in because, y'all, look at us. Again, we don't look like what we've been through. Let me not pat myself on the back. Let me not pat myself. Look at Angel's skin. Do y'all see wrinkles? Do y'all see bags under her eyes? No. Look at Delina's face. It looks like she's 20-something. We don't.
I'll be 25 on my birthday. Thank you. Thank you very much.
55, y'all. 55.
You hear me?
See, she's gonna drive to Texas and get.
I will drive.
But no, we don't look like what we've been through. That's just not a saying that somebody made up. Maybe somebody else did, but we didn't make it up.
Yeah, that's God.
Been through.
That is absolutely nothing but God.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if I think I grabbed all of the comments.
Okay.
Okay. I think I grabbed all the comments. If I missed it, I'm sorry. The feed is going a little crazy.
Really fast. Goes fast.
Yeah. So, all right. So we talked about that. And now we don't have another visual series for you, but I do have a little something special for my friend Chandra Southern of Delivered Vessels, who helped us while filming the visual series. And she does a whole lot in the community, especially for children and women who have dealt with domestic violence and things. So she's an advocate for children and domestic violence and a whole lot of other stuff. And you can check out her website. I'm going to post a video up. You can check out her website to get more information. You can donate money or other things.
Okay.
She always has an opportunity where you can volunteer. Like sometimes she'll call me and she'll be like, Delaney, I need some help with this. And we'll jump in the car and we go get it done. So thank you, Chandra Southern. I love you, love you, love you. Because they are still working on this thing, we've been going back and forth for a minute now. I don't know. I might have to.
Delina has so many surprises, y'all. She even surprises me and Angel. She got surprises every time.
So I'm going to put it.
But that's because she's good at keeping secrets.
I am the secret holder. So I'm going to post it on my page because I want you guys to be able to see it.
It's so cool to have all these connections with women who are doing the same thing and who are doing so many positive things, y'all. People say, oh, there's nobody doing this, there's nobody doing that. First of all, Angel's in Indianapolis. Call her. She's busy than a mug, but she's still always doing something that can connect you to the right person. There's nothing like a person who has a connection to somebody that does everything. This person does production. This person does poetry. This person, the connections matter. Delina talking about the young lady today. Go to her website. She just said she does everything. She's for women. And that's what we're about.
When I tell you that woman, she will advocate. She teaches classes on how to detect things that are for child abuse and things like that.
Wow.
She's certified, so she will get you all the information that you need. So if you're interested, if you know somebody that is interested, and even before you work at any of her camps or her programs, you have to pass the certification because you're dealing with children. And then you're dealing with children who have probably been through some type of trauma. So she is amazing. I'm just writing a little message here.
Oh, you're fine. You know I can run my mouth.
Run your mouth, girl. Don't say nothing else about the book, but run your mouth.
I'm not gonna say nothing about the book. And you know what's funny, what Delina just said, there's some little girls that are little angels, little reality, little Delinas, little Dream, little Rasha, little Rain, that's somewhere that needs what she serves, needs someone that can see what's going on, needs someone that can help with child abuse. That little girl is somewhere now being abused, y'all, real talk. So this stuff is needed. It's just an Angel. You made so many good points today. I'm just thinking about all of them.
Here in Indianapolis, I want to shout out just a couple of organizations that I know.
Please.
And a couple people that I know that are doing things in the community. Rhonda Bayless with CWUW basically it focuses on the health and well-being of women in the community. So she's a good person to get in touch with. Roe and Earl Townsend of Grow Inc. They are fantastic. I absolutely adore them. Not only do they symbolize like Black love to the utmost fullest.
Goals. We talk about goals.
But
they are
their goals. They're extravagant within this community. I mean, they are fantastic. So look them up. They do a program called Open Bite Night. They just had their gala last month. They have a show coming up, I believe, in March. And they usually do a couple open bite nights per year. So look them up. Alenia Moore with Ladies Under Construction. This is a program for young girls ages 8 to 18. This is, helping build self-esteem and kind of exposing them to different things that they're not used to. That's also a really good one. I know I'm missing some. I know I am. But those are the three that I can think of off the top of my head of people who are doing things in the Indianapolis community. So link up, volunteer, contact them. Also Breaking Free, which is a nonprofit that deals with domestic violence victims. That's at Families First, which is downtown on Alabama. Link up with them. There are different resources in Indianapolis to help those who are going through these particular situations.
Yes.
If you have an issue, dial 211. That can give you any type of help you need. If you want me to help connect you to some of these different resources that I know about, just inbox me either on Facebook or send me an email at anjanita@lionessvisions.net, and I can get you right to something.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
I
Miss
posted
Delina.
the video on my feed, and I also when we end the live, I'll go back and post it in the comment section so you can see. But check out Chandra Southern, support her organization. She's totally, I know firsthand that she's doing, she doesn't even talk about half the stuff she does. So she's a wonderful person to be connected to, and you know me, like I don't even like dealing with kids all the time. But she'd be like, "Come on, girl, we gotta do it." So I'd be like, "Okay, girl, let's go." Hold my hand. But she's awesome. She's great. She does a lot of things, and so she helped us. She let us use one of her facilities while we were doing the filming, and she also just helped out a lot behind the scenes. So there's no words to express my gratitude.
Yes, I'm ready to see this video too. You guys, this was a great discussion. Great.
Absolutely. I love it.
Absolutely. You agree? Say something.
No, I was just like, I love her too.
Yes.
This was just great.
Oh, and she's also an author. We did Lioness Vizions did the editing and everything of her book. So she's also an author. So her book is also available on her website as well. So the website is in the video and everything like that. So it talks about her, some of the things that she's gone through as well, and everything. So just get it and support it and all that great jazz. So we will see you guys again next week, same time on this page. Thank you again for joining. Thanks for interacting. That's what we've been looking for, that interaction.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll get some more of that. Feel free to share the video. Go back and watch it again.
Please.
Inbox with questions if you want to talk or anything like that. So we're not counselors or anything, but I'll talk to you.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Been through it. Me too.
Thank you again for watching. We really appreciate it, and we will see you again next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night.